Hello and welcome to Mouse in the Mitten Trivia Pod, a podcast where you can test your Disney trivia knowledge over a variety of topics. My name's Court and I will be your host. Our game will consist of 5 rounds of 6 questions, covering everything from your basic Disney knowledge to some unknown facts. Each question is worth 1 point unless otherwise noted. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and let us know what your score is, or if you're watching us over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give us a thumbs up as well. And hey, I know planning a Disney vacation can be overwhelming. They just released all the information for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. If you need a little bit of help or you would like some assistance, feel free to email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com. I would love to get you all taken care of. Well, I kind of alluded to it last week, and this week we have gotten to it. It is Marvel week. A majority of these questions are going to do with Marvel, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So we're going to have some fun and start out by talking about the MCU. So all these questions in round 1 are just a general overview of MCU. So let's get started with question number 1. What MCU movie, originally part of Paramount, is the first movie in the current MCU? Question number 2. What creator of the Marvel Universe comic books often makes appearances in the movies? Question number 3. Airing from 2013 until 2020 on ABC, what was the first Marvel television show based on the current wave of Marvel movies? Question number 4. What is the name of the musical that is based on an MCU character and can be seen at Disney's California Adventure? Question number 5. Within 2, what year did Disney officially acquire Marvel from 20th Century Fox? And question number 6. What cast of MCU released a Christmas special that featured Kevin Bacon in 2022? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music. Try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's get you some answers here on these first round of MCU questions. So question number 1. What MCU movie, originally part of Paramount, is the first movie in the current MCU? That was Iron Man. This was the movie that kind of kicked everything off. This was the one that saw a lot of success, and we will return to this movie later on. Question number 2. What creator of the Marvel Universe comic books often makes appearances in the movies? That is Stan Lee. And sometimes he has a line, sometimes he just makes an appearance. It's a variety and it's always fun. Question number 3. Airing from 2013 until 2020 on ABC, what was the first Marvel television show based on the current wave of Marvel movies? Well, that'd be the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, I gotta admit, I did not really get into this all that much because back in 2013, there weren't a lot of streaming options. So if you fell behind, there was no way to really catch up. You felt like if you missed an episode, there was a lot you were missing. So I really didn't jump on board for this, but now I believe it's all on Disney Plus, so maybe it's worth rechecking back out. I'm not sure yet. Question number 4. What is the name of the musical that is based on an MCU character and can be seen at Disney's California Adventures? That is Rogers the Musical. Obviously, we're talking about Captain Rogers. That means we're talking about Captain America. From what I've heard, it's really good. It's really fun. Hopefully I can get out there soon, but I've heard good things about it. Question number 5. Within 2, what year did Disney officially acquire Marvel from 20th Century Fox? Well, that would be March 19, 2019. So in order to get the point there, what I had to say between 2017 and 2021. And that's where we were able to actually, for sure, lock up most of Spider-Man, X-Men, Deadpool, all those movies. I know there was some concern because Disney and Deadpool don't really get along all that well, but I have a feeling it's been a good transition for both since then. Last but not least, question number 6. What cast of MCU released a Christmas special that featured Kevin Bacon in 2022? Well, that would be Guardians of the Galaxy. It's kind of funny with the intro and the promo for it and everything else like that. It's kind of like this was Kevin Bacon's big break, when obviously we all know that's not true. It was still funny. I still enjoyed it. I still watch it every Christmas. And I just think it's really cool with what they did and how it can tie into some of the Guardian stuff, but at the same point, it is a very good standalone as well. So we're going to talk about more of the MCU in our Fast Facts next. And yeah, this is our Fast Facts time. So this round is filled with simple questions that have simple answers, hence the name Fast Facts. Today's category is MCU release dates. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you a date, and you're just going to tell me what movie came out. Now, I did put these in order in terms of when it got released. May is kind of Marvel month, and a lot of these movies get released in May, especially at the beginning of May. So we're going to have some fun with this one as well. So let's get started with question number 1. May 2nd, 2008. Question number 2. May 4, 2012. Question number 3. May 5, 2017 or 2023. Question number 4. May 6th, 2016. Question number 5. May 6th, 2022. And last but not least, question number 6. May 7, 2010. Like I said, they release a lot towards the beginning of May, so that's why these are all so closely together. So let's get started with question number 1. May 2nd, 2008. Again, this is the one that kicked it all off. That is Iron Man. It got released on May 2nd, 2008. Everything since then is based on that. Question number 2. May 4, 2012, that is The Avengers. That is the first one where everyone comes together and fights off a mutual opponent, and that is where we see that one. Question number 3. May 5, 2017 or 2023? Well, I gave you both here, either Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or Volume 3. They both came out on the same day, just came out a few years apart from each other. So if you had just said any of the Guardians of the Galaxy, give yourselves a point on that one. Question number 4. May 6th, 2016. Well, that was Captain America Civil War. It created a lot of tension. What was going to happen next? Who knows what was going to happen next? But there was a lot of tension in that movie. Question number 5. May 6th, 2022. Well, that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That was a very good one in theaters. Not as, for obvious reasons, it wasn't as good on TV. Definitely in theaters with that big of a screen with the sound. Definitely much better. Last but not least, question number 6. May 7, 2010. Well, that was, just to come full circle, Iron Man 2. So yeah, the Iron Man 1 came out in 2008. 2 came out in 2010. I remember seeing both in theaters and being blown away. We will come back and we will talk about Iron Man one more time, but that is about it for our MCU discussions. Continuing on now into round number 3. Round number 3 is our connecting the circles. For this round, I'm going to give you 5 questions that may or may not be Disney related. But the 6th question is the connection that is made by Disney. And that's because all the answers have a Disney connection. So let's get started with question number 1. Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah, Eugene Levy, and John Candy all star in what 1983 movie? Question number 2. What word can mean an open area as well as the kind of race that was started in the late 1950s? Question number 3. Lightning McQueen gives Chick Hicks what nickname after their race that ended in a 3-way tie? Question number 4. What mountain is the highest peak in the world and grows in height because of the plates pushing together to form that mountain? Question number 5. Name the mountain that can be found in Italy and Switzerland and was first ascended in 1865. And question number 6 is, what is the connection? I'm going to give you a few seconds, try to connect those circles, and then I will return. All right, let's see if we can connect those circles. So question number 1. Tom Hanks, Daryl Hannah, Eugene Levy, and John Candy all starred in what 1983 movie? Well, that is Splash. Now, at this time, not a ton of these actors were known, especially Tom Hanks was still kind of coming around. Eugene Levy, John Candy was kind of known at that point, but definitely a classic one in which you never know what's going to come of some of these actors. Question number 2. What word can mean an open area as well as the kind of race that was started in the late 1950s? That is space. An open area can be defined as space, and we had the space race started in the late 50s going all the way through the 60s, and to an extent still happening today. Question number 3. Lightning McQueen gave Chick Hicks what nickname after the race that ended in a 3-way tie? He called him Thunder, and his reason was because thunder always comes after lightning. So that's where that came into play. Chick Hicks kind of played into it a little bit. I think Cars, they did a great job of perceiving Dale Earnhardt. That's who he was supposed to be. I thought they did a great job of it. Question number 4. What mountain is the highest peak in the world and grows in height because of the plates pushing together that form the mountain? That is Everest. Every year, Everest grows just ever so slightly because it's basically 2 tectonic plates pushing against each other. So it keeps growing as part of that mountain range. So, it doesn't grow a significant amount. It's not like all of a sudden one year it shoots up another 100 feet. It's subtle. Every year it grows a little bit more. Question number 5. Name the mountain that can be found in Italy and Switzerland and was first ascended in 1865. That is the Matterhorn. It is one of the most iconic peaks in all of Europe and definitely one that is visited a lot. So we had answers such as Splash, Space, Thunder, Everest, and Matterhorn. The answer there, those are all the mountains of Disney. Those are all different rides that you can ride in Disney. Splash Mountain obviously is now rethemed to Tiana's Bayou Adventure to all of us. Still Splash Mountain. Space Mountain, obviously a lot of iterations of that, and now we have Tron out of Space Mountain. And then we also have Big Thunder Mountain. It's the wildest ride in the wilderness. That's for true. And then you have Everest. That's in Animal Kingdom. A lot of fun. One of my favorite rides. And then the Matterhorn, one of the first rail roller coasters in the world. It was Disney's first rail ride, and it still stands to this day. Especially if you need your back cracked, that's the great place to go. But again, these are the mountains of Disney. Hopefully, it wasn't too obvious based on those last 2 questions, but I do hope that you were able to connect those circles. Continuing on now into round number 4. Round number 4 is typically reserved for movie anniversaries, and this one's a little bit late, but it is technically a little bit of a movie anniversary. I mentioned we were going to talk about it later, and we are at the later. It's all about Iron Man. So all these questions have to do with Iron Man. This is one of my favorite movies, so let's have a little bit of fun with Iron Man. So question number 1. What actor portrays Tony Stark in the 2008 Iron Man movie? Question number 2. Also in Iron Man as Tony Stark's driver, who directed Iron Man? Question number 3. Name the legendary actor who played Obadiah Stane, Tony's co-worker and eventual adversary. Question number 4. Before debuting in the US, where did Iron Man make its first theatrical debut? Question number 5. What 2008 MTV Movie Award did Iron Man win? And question number 6. To avoid spoilers, what were the extras in Iron Man told to prevent them from giving out information? All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will return. All right, let's get some answers here to Iron Man. So question number 1. What actor portrays Tony Stark in the 2008 Iron Man movie? That is Robert Downey Jr. This was his kind of coming back. He had some troubles. He had some issues. He was kind of coming back from all those issues. So since then, he's come a long ways. Obviously, 2008 is a long time. He was great in Oppenheimer. It was really good to see him kind of come full circle and get a full nomination there. Question number 2. Also in Iron Man as Tony Stark's driver, who directed Iron Man? That is Jon Favreau. He is really credited with kind of upstarting MCU, getting it back on track, and definitely him directing Iron Man was a huge step in that. And, you know, him directing Elf was also a big step, but I felt like Iron Man contributed more to MCU. Don't know why. Question number 3. Name the legendary actor who played Obadiah Stane, Tony's co-worker and eventual adversary. That is Jeff Bridges, going bald for this role. It was very interesting that he actually went into Obadiah Stane and went bald for this role, but he killed it. He knocked it out of the park. He plays a good villain. He hasn't done it a lot, but I think he played a really good villain in this one, especially with how much he ended up turning. Question number 4. Before debuting in the US, where did Iron Man make its first theatrical debut? Well, that was Sydney, Australia. I believe they filmed a lot of it down there, which makes sense why they would do the debut down there, but it was also just interesting to see that little factoid. Question number 5. What 2008 MTV Movie Award did Iron Man win? Well, it won Best Summer Movie so far. You have to realize that for the MTV Movie Awards, those are usually broadcast in June. So they were saying it's going to probably be one of the best movies of 2008 for the summer, and it was. So it did get an award for the best summer movie so far. Last but not least, question number 6. To avoid spoilers, what were the extras in Iron Man told to prevent them from giving out information? Well, they were told that everything that they were a part of is part of a dream sequence. You might notice that there weren't a ton of extras whenever Tony was in his Iron Man suit. That's because they didn't want a lot of extras to give spoilers out, that sort of stuff. And then also to try to prevent people from giving out spoilers, they told everyone this is a dream sequence. It's not actually part of the movie, just how Tony kind of sees himself. So it was kind of interesting that they went with that ploy. They take great lengths now to be able to make sure that there are no spoilers out. But again, it's May, so that means it's Marvel month. We will probably come back to a few more Marvel things throughout this month. So we're going to have some fun with that, but I hope that you enjoyed at least this version of it as well. Wrapping up today's game, round number 5 is titled The Mothers of Disney. This Sunday is Mother's Day, so get your mom a card, get her a gift that she really deserves, because she does deserve it. She's your mom. So get her a gift, and we're going to honor some of the moms of Disney. How this round's going to work is I'm simply going to name a mom from a Disney movie. You just have to tell me what movie are they in. So let's get started with question number 1. Helen Parr. Question number 2, Mrs. Potts. Question number 3, Nani. Question number 4, Kala. Question number 5, Chicha. And question number 6, Mrs. Davis. All right, I'm going to give you a few seconds worth of music, try to come up with those answers, and then I will be back to wrap up today's game. get some answers here on some of the coolest moms that are part of the Disney universe. So question number 1. Helen Parr, you might know her as Mrs. Incredible, so she is on The Incredibles. Does some really cool things in the second Incredibles, is just an amazing mom, is basically holding that family together. So keep up the good work. Question number 2. Mrs. Potts, that is from Beauty and the Beast. They literally leaned into her name being Mrs. Potts, being that she is a pot, and I thought that was a really cool take. And she's just an overall great mom. How she is as old as she is and has a son as young as she is, especially at that time, is nothing short of a miracle. Question number 3. Nani, that is obviously Lilo and Stitch. That is Lilo's mom. I would love to know the backstory of their parents and what all happened, but Nani is considered a mom to Lilo and doing a great job. Question number 4. Kala, that is Tarzan. She's the one who finds Tarzan. She's the one who raises him and does a great job doing so and getting his heart in the right place. Question number 5. Chicha, I hope I'm really saying that right, but this is from Emperor's New Groove. She was the mom that Pacha was married to in Emperor's New Groove. She is the first lady to be pregnant on the Emperor's New Groove and Disney universe. She was pregnant in Emperor's New Groove. She was very pregnant, and she was the first Disney character to be pregnant in a movie. Just fantastic little backstory there. Last but not least, question number 6. Mrs. Davis, that is Toy Story. If you had said any of the Toy Stories, give yourself the point there. Originally, she was just some heels and shoes and feet and on someone who was really tall. We found out in Toy Story 3 what she actually looks like and that her name is Mrs. Davis. We don't know a first name. Was she the owner of Jessie? I mean, there's a theory that she was, but that is Mrs. Davis. So again, thank you to all the moms that are out there. You're doing a fantastic job. Hopefully those who are around you celebrate you this Sunday as well. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I will return next Thursday with more questions and more fun. In the meantime, if you want any more content, feel free to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mouse in the Mitten. If you're watching us over here on YouTube, again, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and of course, give us a thumbs up on the video as well. Let us know in the comments what your score was. If you're not watching us on YouTube, instead you're listening to us, make sure you follow us on Apple or that you are downloading us wherever you can. Leave a 5-star review wherever you can as well. And again, I know planning a Disney vacation can seem overwhelming. There's new things happening all the time. If you need a little bit of help or you want someone else to help plan your vacation for you, I would love to be able to do that. You can email me at mouseinthemitten@gmail.com and we can get you all taken care of. Well, hey, my name's Court. The dog's name is Milo. I appreciate you tuning in and I will see you next time.